Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, student, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mustaba, and we are going to study today about chapter number 13's article, Evolutionary Development in Jaws of Mammals, and the second article is Types of Joints, page number 61 and 62. Before going to the lecture, actually, we will start with the verse of Holy Quran that is saying, the life of this world is nothing but the enjoyment of deception. The it is the Quran's verse, and in it, my dear student, God has actually opened up the secret of life. The secret of life, which is technically a total deception. It is deceiving. It is dodging us. A deception, an enjoyment, an entertainment, an engagement that is basically, technically, totally deception. And well, clarifying the nature of life, God is actually directing us to live our life in a manner that is connected with the life after birth, the life after death, the original life that will sustain for times unknown. So we have to spend our life not concentrating on a thing that is in original deceiving and decepting, right? So a message, an order, a clarification given by God. Now coming to the topic, actually the topic is the jaws of the mammals, my dear students, have evolved in the evolutionary history. Well, the mammals' jaws basically have evolved in a very classical manner, and has resulted a different type of particular structure. First of all, the mammals' jaws are actually two in number, the upper jaw as well as the lower jaw. In mammals and humans, the upper jaw is fixed with a skull and is composed of two bones named as maxilla, or the plural can be maxillae. The lower jaw actually, it says mobile, and it articulates with the skull. The lower jaw of the lower vertebrate is made up of more than one bones, but while the lower jaw of the mammals actually, just like humans, we have only a single bone in our lower jaw. You can see from the diagram, this is our lower jaw. Yes, this is our lower jaw, which is technically a single bone, and it is called the mandible, and it is also named as denter. And well, this is the upper jaw, which is consisted of two bones, and these are actually your maxilla, right? Another aspect, side view of maxilla, and well, this is your upper jaw, right? One bone of the upper jaw, and the second is certainly on the other side, and this is your mandible, that is the lower jaw of a human being. And similar is the pattern of other mammals as well, because the mammals technically have a single dentatory jaw, lower jaw, single lower jaw, as compared to the reptilian jaw or avian jaw. So this was about the description of the jaws. Now coming to the actual evolution that has taken place. Well, students, actually in the jaws of the mammals, and actually they have developed from their reptilian ancestors, And this actually involves a process of evolution. And what happens is, during the evolution, mammals modified the lower jaw bones and incorporated four out of them into middle ear in the form of medius and incus in both the ears. So actually, there is the evolution in which the bones that were basically quadrate in nature, angular in nature, and they slowly and gradually were reduced, and your mandibula actually it goes on increasing, and eventually these bones become the part of the medial ear, and they form the malleus and incus in both the ears. And this evolution actually in mammals, the jaws of the mammals actually was beneficial, and this adaptation helps them in terms of number one, that the lower jaw with a single bone is more stronger. As it was, so the lower jaw with a single bone is technically more stronger. It gives strength and a fixation, a posture. And number two is that the two ossicle, these are the ossicle bones actually, the ossicle bones that are the bones, internal bones of ear, malleus and incus, that were actually formed due to the evolution from the lower jaw. So these malleus and incus actually, they help in hearing actually. They actually vibrates, and with the vibration of the eardrum, the malleus, then incus, then stabs it. So the vibration actually is extended, and it actually helps us in improving the hearing quality. Well, what happens is actually the ossicle, the bone of the ear, evolved from the skull bones present in most of the tetrapods, including the one that have reptilian lineage. Certainly, we mammals have a reptilian lineage as well. The reptilian actually quadrate bone, articular bone, and columella evolved in the mammalian incus, malleus, and stabs, that are certainly called as anvil, hammer, and stirrup, respectively. And this is how actually the evolution of the jaws of the mammals take place. And well, you can see from the diagram the reptilian jaw, and this is the mammal jaw. This mammal jaw is consisted of only a single bone and a jaw joint, while this actually is made up of multiple types of bones, the reptilian. Well, these bones actually, when mammals were basically developing, they started reducing, and eventually this bone, the mandible, or the denter, actually dentary bone, actually it extends, and well, these bones become very small, and eventually created the structure named as malleus. Another representation you can see, this is the ossicles or the bones that were reduced, and just like this is a non-mammalian structure, and well, while turning to mammal, these bones were reduced, and eventually this structure was formed, that is included the malleus, the inverse, the step. Well, another diagram. This is our jaw actually, and this is our lower jaw. This lower jaw was basically developed by by reducing of multiple bones, and those bones become eventually your malleus, incus, and steps, and these are actually connected with your eardrum. Well, the sound comes from here, then it moves from here, then to steps, and then to the inner part of the ear. So this is another representation for your understanding. So actually, this formation of the ossicles or the bones are thanks to the evolution that take place, and eventually giving us a single bone lower jaw, and also giving us a structure which is not really present in the reptiles. This helps us, and basically enhances the sound waves, and helps us in recognition of sounds better than the reptiles. So this was about the mammalian jaw and its evolution and its different aspects. Now we will move on to the joints, my dear fellows. Well, what are joints, my boys and girls? The joints actually are the structure, are the parts actually, as their name show, that are connected with joining something. You know, joints structure, a part, an area that is connected with joining something. So it is the location in which two or more bones make contact with each other, and these are called the joints. The functions of these joints is technically they allow the movement. They actually allow the movement, and also actually these joints give a strength, mechanical support and strength to the structure. The joints can be classified into different groups, and three are three types, major types. And these types are, the first one is immovable joints, slightly movable joints, and movable joints. The first one is immovable, and it is also known as the fixed joints. Well, these joints actually are, they do not allow any sort of movement, and the classical example of this joint is the skull bones. And after that, well, you can see this from the diagram. These are the joints actually: squamous suture, the lambdoid suture, and coronal suture. These are joints of your skull, you know. So actually these are joining two bones, different bones, and they are totally technically fixed and do not allow any sort of movement. Then comes the slightly movable joints. Well, such joints allow slight movement, and the example of these joints are actually that of your vertebral column, vertebrae, and well, you can observe from the diagram actually, well, these are the joints actually that are present, and between one vertebral disc to the other vertebral disc. Another representation is like this. Well, this is your you know, left facet joint. This is the back side of actually your vertebral column. Yeah, it has a more clear view. Well, you can see from this, these are the joints that can move, but slightly, not more. That can move, but slightly, and that's why they are called slightly movable joints. Well, after that, then comes the movable joints. Well, these are the joints that are that have a very high degree of movement, and the classical example are that of shoulder joint, your hip joint, your elbow joint, and your knee joint. And after that, well, there are the types of the movable joints, and there are many types actually. and but the major types are two, and the hinge joint and the ball and socket joint are the two types that are the main types of the movable joints. Well, the hinge joints actually move back and forth. The hinge, just like the hinge on the door, a hinge on the door that basically allows the movement of the door in a single plane. So this actually one can say it as the joint which is making the movement on a single plane or unidirectional. And well, the examples are knee joint and elbow joints, and well, you can see from these. Well, this is the joint of the knee, and this is the joint of the elbow. Now, the second type is the ball and socket joint, and well, this is consisted of a ball structure and a socket sort of structure, and giving us a movement in all direction. And the classical example of ball and socket joint are hip joint and the shoulder joints. And well, you can see from this is your hip joint, and well, this is the ball and socket of your hip joint, and this is the ball and socket of this is the ball and this is the socket, and it actually they form the joint of your shoulder. So these are actually the structure that are describing the joints, and I hope that you will be able to understand the topics, and that's all from now, and well, stay home and stay safe. Thank you.